to talk a little bit about capos. Capos get a wide variety of acceptance in amongst the guitar community. To me, capos are just another tool in my arsenal, in the same sense that instead of playing in E standard tuning, maybe I'm going to loosen the strings a bit and I'm going to play in D standard tuning or C sharp standard tuning. And so all this really gives me is the ability to change the standard tuning really fast without having to adjust a lot of strings. So there's lots of different capos out there, all kinds of price ranges. I commonly use capos from $5 price ranges up to this guy, and it's a G7th. These things are expensive, but I think they're actually worth it. This is like a $50 capo. And the idea though is it's just another tool in our arsenal. It lets us do stuff. But how does it work? How do we make this run? Well, I kind of alluded to it earlier. I said, if you wanted to just change your tuning by relaxing the tuning pegs, you can move from an E standard tuning to E flat standard tuning to D standard tuning, etc., etc. In this case, I'm just coming up the fretboard. So instead of E, I could do F, F sharp, G, whatever made sense to me for the tuning. But how do we make this work for us? Well, job one is we do have to kind of appreciate that we play music in keys. And a key is just a nice sort of way of saying that there's a root note for every collection of notes that we're going to have. So if I want to just play notes G, A, B, C, D, E. Okay, so we are pretty familiar with that. That's just our G major scale. And when I play then the chords related to it, I'm going to have a G chord. I'm going to have an A minor chord. You shift up to a B minor chord, C, D, etc. And so we get the idea. Well, what a capo lets me do is if I keep playing the same chord shapes, but I put the capo on the second fret, now my G is an A. And so all we've done is we've taken all of our chord shapes and we moved them up one whole step. And so G becomes an A. And this idea just gives us a lot of leverage. Why might we want to do this? G's actually a little low for me to sing it. I can sort of do it on some songs, but in general, it's not in my comfort zone. I'm kind of a solid A, B flat, B type voice. And it's not that I can't trick things out in different ways, but the capo makes it just very, very simple for me to move things around and not have to work on a different set of tunings. Now, if you're an absolute beginner to the guitar, the one thing that guitar instructors love to do is overwhelm you. Huge volumes of chords, variations on chords, all that kind of stuff. But the neat thing is if you just learn one key's worth of chords, you're going to be able to some degree anyway, by moving a capo, shift into a different set of tonalities that might work for you. And just to kind of drive the point home, if I were to take my capo and I move it up to the 5th fret and I play G, that's actually a C chord. So if you can just sort of keep the sound in mind, it's very similar in its tonality. And this is because we're just moving right into the spot where the G, so this would be our B, C, we have a nice C chord. And so if I want to play the standard 1, 4, 5 chords of the C major scale, I would have C. I would then play, so the G shape is the C, the C shape is the F, and the G shape is now the D. It takes a little bit of twisting of your brain to get around these ideas, but we get the concepts pretty quickly. We are just moving things around in a way that's convenient for us. And so it just gives us a lot of freedom without changing a whole lot of what we know. I don't have to learn all the chords of a different key. Now, having said that, it's good to be able to play all the different chords in all the different keys. It's a great exercise. But even still, if you're playing out and about, you'll probably find there's some chord shapes, they're just a pain to get into. And so why not pick a key in which you can avoid those chord shapes and your progress is going to sound amazing, and you're just going to keep building and adding. But you've also got some easy ways of doing things when you need an easier way of doing things.